You've been awake for more than a day. Your eyes burn. Your head aches. Every step feels heavier than the last. You've spent the last 36 hours treating patients, helping strangers, saving lives. All you want now is a few hours of sleep. So you find an empty room, lock the door, lie down, and close your eyes. By sunrise, you're dead. And what happens next will spark protests across an entire nation. Doctors will walk off the job. Millions of people will demand answers. Internet users will begin digging through every detail, looking for something that doesn't add up. Because according to many people following this case, the scariest part wasn't the murder itself. It was the possibility that the full truth never came out. Tonight we're talking about the death of Dr. Momita Debnath, a case that shocked India, and a mystery that still refuses to go away. Welcome to the podcast You Can't Unhear. Dr. Momita Debnath was 31 years old. A talented young doctor, bright, ambitious, respected by colleagues. She was in her second year of a specialist training program at R.G. Carr Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata, one of the busiest hospitals in eastern India. Medicine wasn't just a job for her, it was her future. Friends described her as hard-working, dedicated, the kind of person who kept going even when she was exhausted. And on August 8th, 2024, that exhaustion was becoming impossible to ignore. She had been working for roughly 36 hours, almost non-stop. Patient after patient, shift after shift. The kind of schedule that would leave almost anyone physically drained. Late that night, around midnight, she had dinner with colleagues. They talked, laughed, finished eating. Nothing seemed unusual. Around 2 a.m., Momita excused herself. She wanted to rest, just for a little while. The problem was, there was no proper sleeping area available. So she made a decision that countless exhausted medical workers have probably made before. She went to a seminar room on the 3rd floor. A quiet room, away from the noise. She lay down. And according to investigators, that would be the last time anyone saw her alive. The next morning, August 9th. The hospital continued operating as normal. Patients arrived. Doctors worked. Nurses moved through hallways. Until sometime around mid-morning. A staff member entered the seminar room and found Dr. Momita Debnath. She was dead. The details that emerged were horrifying. Police were called. The area was secured. And shortly afterward, her family received a phone call. The call came from hospital personnel. What they were told would later become one of the most controversial parts of the entire case. The family was initially informed that Momita had taken her own life. The news devastated them. Confused, shocked, unable to understand what had happened. They rushed to the hospital. But things only became stranger. They were not immediately allowed to see her body. 3 hours passed. Waiting. Asking questions. Receiving few answers. And when they finally saw her, they immediately felt something was wrong. Very wrong. The injuries they observed did not resemble what they expected. The family demanded a full investigation. And when the autopsy was completed, their worst fears were confirmed. This was not a suicide. Dr. Momita Debnath had been murdered. The autopsy findings were devastating. Investigators concluded she had suffered severe physical violence before her death. Evidence indicated she had fought back hard. There were injuries consistent with a violent struggle. She had been strangled. Her neck showed signs of significant trauma. There were injuries to her face, her lips, her body. Medical findings also indicated sexual assault. The details shocked the country, not only because of what happened, but because of where it happened, inside a hospital. A place where people are supposed to be safest. A place dedicated to preserving life, not taking it. As news spread, public outrage exploded. People wanted answers. How could this happen? Who did it? And perhaps most importantly, how could something like this happen inside a major medical institution? 3 days later, investigators announced an arrest. The suspect was a 33-year-old man named Sanjoy Roy. He was associated with a police volunteer program and reportedly had access to hospital facilities. According to investigators, CCTV footage showed him entering the building during the early morning hours. Around 4 a.m. A Bluetooth headset was later recovered from the seminar room. Investigators linked the device to him. Police also stated that he had been drinking before arriving at the hospital. When arrested, more disturbing details emerged about Sanjoy. His phone contained inappropriate videos, and neighbours described him as problematic. He had been married 4 times. 3 wives left him due to domestic violence, and his 4th wife had died of cancer the previous year. Despite confessing to the crime and saying he was ready to be punished, many people, including his own mother, claimed he was being used as a scapegoat. Social media exploded. Internet users began examining timelines, photographs, reports, statements. And before long, new theories started spreading. Some people believed Sanjoy Roy acted alone. Others believed that was impossible. As the case gained national attention, a wave of information began circulating online. Some claims came from activists, some from journalists, some from anonymous accounts. One claim suggested that an unusually large amount of biological evidence indicated multiple perpetrators. Another claimed investigators were ignoring potential suspects. Others alleged evidence had been tampered with, destroyed, or hidden. At the centre of these discussions was a growing belief among some members of the public that the story was bigger than a single individual. Then another theory emerged, one that would spread rapidly across social media. According to rumours circulating online, Dr. Momita may have discovered corruption inside the hospital. The most dramatic versions of the story even alleged connections to organ trafficking networks. Meanwhile, the protests grew larger. Doctors across India took to the streets. Medical workers organised demonstrations. Hospitals saw strikes. Students marched, carrying signs demanding justice. Many weren't just protesting the murder. They were protesting what they saw as systemic failures. Failures of security. Failures of workplace safety. Failures to protect healthcare workers. Especially women working long overnight shifts. The case became a national conversation. Not just about crime, but about trust. Because if a doctor wasn't safe inside a hospital, who was? As pressure mounted, the investigation was transferred to India's Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI, one of the country's highest investigative agencies. The transfer itself fueled more speculation. Some saw it as proof that authorities were taking the case seriously. Others saw it as evidence that something had gone wrong during the original investigation. The internet continued doing what the internet does. Digging. Questioning. Speculating. Because despite arrests, many people still feel they don't know exactly what happened inside that room. A young doctor worked a 36-hour shift. She helped people. She treated patients. She did her job. Then she entered a room to rest and never came home. For her family, for her friends, and for millions of people across India, that reality alone is horrifying enough. And perhaps that's why people still talk about Dr. Momita Debnath today. Because every time someone remembers this case, they remember one simple fact. She was inside a hospital. She wasn't walking home alone. She wasn't in a dark alley. She wasn't in some abandoned building. And somehow, that still wasn't enough to keep her safe. As always, stay safe out there, guys. And I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.